Guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk a little bit about club head design, specifically on fairway woods.
Yes.
We've been through obviously various different stages of club development where we've been using sort of deeper woods and the old persimmon sort of woods. They were very deep, very small, very compact. Probably around the late 90s, we had Orlamar, Adams.
That's right.
We had that sort of era of the extremely shallow wood. We kind of saw that wood evolve back into slightly deeper faces with things like RBZ.
Yep.
The one we have today to test, which was the Callaway 3 Deep.
Yep.
So
Super deep, yeah.
we want to try and talk a little bit about the implications of the profile of the head itself.
So I think most people, myself included, will have always associated the deeper face version of any fairway wood is the lowest spinning kind of driver-like flight.
Sure.
So I bought this specifically because, one, I was using it instead of a driver, so I wanted it to fly like a driver. And I used to have, I don't know if you remember, I think 909 series Titleist.
Yep.
F2.
FD?
No, but I had the F2. So
Right.
that thing,
F2,
it was
super
shallow.
Super shallow. I had one of those as well.
So good, but it hit the ball a mile in the air, right?
Yeah.
So I was coming from that, and I did some research, and face depth seemed to be kind of like the sales point to knock the ball flight down. And I don't know enough about it to say that whole thing has kind of gone away, but just looking in the drawer when we were talking about it, it doesn't look like there's these kind of crazy disparities in face height anymore.
It's very true.
Yeah.
It's very true. It's really regulated in terms of what the consensus is the correct face depth when it comes to fairway wood. And what we want to try to establish today with this test is the effects of the deeper faces. What are the implications of this kind of depth? Now, we literally got the calipers out. We've taken the digital calipers to two different heads, and we found the shallowest in our drawer, which was the Cobra F9.
Yeah.
And obviously compared it to your old X-Hot 3 Deep.
So this was 39 millimeters
Yep.
high, basically usable face area. 29.
Okay, so we're talking about a 25% difference.
Which I think if you think millimeters, you think, 10 millimeters, it is a lot. I mean, we measured a bunch of other 3 woods in there. They're all within, 3 millimeters of that.
Unbelievable,
at most,
isn't it? I mean,
and
it's
the deepest face
tiny
ones.
amount.
Yeah, so this thing it's kind of off the charts compared to what actually exists in the drawer now.
That's right. So this is going to be interesting to hit both. Test exactly on what's going to be fairly comparable strike points.
Yeah.
The beauty of having yourself test it is we know we're going to be able to get consistent results, and it'll be very interesting to see if as expected, the 3 Deep does fly lower and flatter. Is that what a deep 3 wood does?
Yes.
Or do we see something that surprises us?
Absolutely. Okay, let's do it.
Let's do it. There you go. So what you've just shown perfectly there is the two kind of strikes, the polar opposite. So you've got the player that it will work for, which is the first player, this guy. It just won't work for that guy. That's where face depth plays a massive part.
So the guy who does get slightly steeper and or hits the top of the face will get great results.
Exactly.
But a normal strike is going to spike up.
A normal strike will be a little bit spinny, but the low strike will be exceptionally exaggerated.
Right.
The high strike probably won't fly very good either.
No, it'll be kind of a knuckler.
Yeah. Kind of knuckly. Nice one. That's probably your average one there, isn't it?
That's
Good
probably
launch
like as good as you can hit it kind of thing.
Yeah. And that's probably the reason right there why you used it as a backup to the driver.
Yeah.
Because you can fly at 280.
Yes, true enough. Felt like it hit that well.
Yeah, quite a well struck one, but carried quite a lot of spin.
Yeah.
Just over 4,000.
Interesting.
4,072. So it wasn't really low. The ball speed was excellent. 164 is fast.
That's the one that I hit that felt the most well struck.
Yep. So we got lots of downward tilt. I mean, look at the delivered loft versus the launch.
Okay.
Right. So that should not launch that low on a well struck shot.
So every fairway wood really is going to get struck slightly below center off the ground, but this is behaving like it's been struck super low, kind of thing.
Yeah. So we all know your flight well enough to know that that sort of performance is not as we would expect. The amount of kind of long and short and left and right, and
true.
You know, there's a lot of variety going on there.
Well, it's just kind of like it's hard to get any sort of similarity between strikes that aren't exactly the same.
Well, look at your average spin rate, 34.88, and if we were just to look at the average, we go, that's pretty decent. You know, isn't kind of mid 3,000s what you're supposed to spin a 3-wood at? But
good point.
If you look at the table, one of them was there. You're 44 or 21.
Yeah.
43 and 25, 49, 32. So, you know, it was just the amount of high ones and low ones ended up with a good average.
It's really true.
Magic or tragic.
Yeah.
Right, let's hit the F9.
Okay.
So immediately as you set it down, the confidence that you get from the profile on a fairway wood that sits below the top of the ball is quite significant.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the deep face, it's almost contrary. Like it looks like the ball is going to go super low, but if you don't hit down on that, you'll never strike it in a decent enough space.
Definitely.
So there's almost like, I think it plays in your mind a bit.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about that and sort of the implications of the forward shaft lean, you know, catching high in the head versus the backward shaft lean, which is going to lead to the low part of the head. So the sort of gear effect of those two, obviously the one struck high in the head is going to be quick. It's going to be kind of fairly low launch, very low spin. But the one in the bottom is going to be very low launch with extremely high spin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, remember this is a 13-degree fairway as well. So even when you hit it at the top of the club, the most it's going to ever launch is about 10 degrees.
That's true.
The most.
Yeah. And a fairway wood isn't really like, I mean, I think people will look at a couple of those shots and go, oh, it went really far, like it went really straight.
Yeah.
But a fairway wood is a club you want to go a distance and obviously be in control. So not only did that not go really very straight on average, it was either long, or short every time.
Well, let's look at that. I want to quickly just touch on the heights of those ones because, I mean, what a variety we had of that. 112, 81, 63, 88, you know, just no kind of real consistency going on there at all.
Yeah, good point.
So expecting this one to be more like what we're used to seeing. It's a great flight.
That's a good hit.
That just behaved so much more like a 3-wood.
I know.
Really, really good.
It's a shot that I felt like I kind of was going to overcook it and hook it, but it must have had some decent spin.
I love it when a test works the way you hope it would.
Yeah.
Because what we were discussing was the inconsistency of the performance versus the consistency of the performance. 273, 274, 291, spin rates, ball speeds. We're always trying to breed consistency.
That's a good point.
Right? The other part of this, which is really interesting, is that we've picked a low profile head.
Yes.
At a lower, you know, it's at a lower loft. You use a 4-wood.
Yeah, so I have a 16.5
turn
degree
to 15.75.
Yes.
So this is quite a lot less loft than you normally use, but you're having no issue with the height.
That's a good point.
All down to the profile and the ball speed.
So it's the the low profile is what lets you make better contact. The face behaves more, I guess, similarly because there's less of it. Is that basically what it is? The head's not twisting around as much.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not getting the sort of variety of strikes. So you're not getting as much tilt and gear effect from the high and the low strikes.
As usual, I'll hit it better than my own 3-wood.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? Loving life with this guy.
It's nice.
Good, isn't it?
I don't remember liking this 3-wood that much, to be honest, when we tried it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember extensively even giving it to be honest, but 32.89, 32.05, 33.57, it's phenomenal. It's really great performance.
I mean, that's crazy to have 3 balls, 4 yards
that
dispersion.
I mean,
that's a proper 3-wood that you could go for long par 5s or lay up on a par 4 knowing the ball will be a certain distance.
And it's performing consistently in a window where you can adjust the flight if you wanted it to flight it down a little bit and chase one out, if you wanted to kind of hit it a little bit higher and get it to land softer. It's in such a nice window from a launch and spin perspective where you have the ability to nudge it either way as a good player. As
a baseline, yeah. So the baseline is good, and so then that's the thing with the deeper face. I don't feel like you can, I know it looks like you can hit it low.
Yeah.
You can hit a low hook. I don't see how you take that club and hit a high fade into a green.
Other than almost intentionally trying to bottom it, trying to hit it low in the head with high delivered loft.
True.
So almost get a bit scoopy with it and hanging back a touch. So you deliver enough loft that creates launch, you get it low enough in the head that it gets it spinning up a little bit. That's about the only way you could manufacture something that flew high and soft.
And it probably comes up short, right? Because we just saw the bottom of the head is so spinny.
Yep.
How would you be able to actually time that? Would be quite amazing.
Exactly. No, that's remarkable.
Nice. Yeah. Good little assembly you did here. With the Villain?
The Villain 75. I mean, we were
using
using
like a Villain?
The Active Core, similar sort of weight, X-Flex, same idea. So trying to sort of go like for like, but obviously isolate the head profile as the main variable.
As the variable, yeah. I think both shafts feel fine, but the confidence difference and just how a strike feels. I hit one ball, I think the last ball I hit with super deep that I said that felt good. 1 out of whatever, 12. Yeah. The rest of them felt pretty bad.
Interesting.
If we're honest. Yeah, cool.
So guys, before you sort of discard the club you're using or maybe misdiagnose why it's doing what it's doing, when it comes to your fairway wood and you have to obviously get it to perform off the tee and off the turf, it's got to be that multifunctional club in the bag. I sort of understand the implications of why it's doing what it's doing. So for Matt there, he could sort of think he's got a club that's going to give him that low-borne flight, but the reality is it's giving you the complete opposite. You feel like it's a backup to the driver, but it's actually losing you yards, not gaining you yards.
Yeah, except for that one kind of unicorn shot that may be just the best one you've ever hit, and then the rest of them just are
Spins at 2100, which is kind of not really what you're looking for anyway.
Good point. Nice.
Excellent. Okay, low profile versus deeper profile fairway woods, that's something to look out for. And as we talked about, it seems like manufacturers have a general consensus on what the optimal depth is now. There doesn't seem to be the variance. That is a really good observation you made when you were testing them earlier on.
Yeah, and I think that whole theory makes sense now, and that's why you'll see them all be more similar.
Yeah.
But the main thing I think is if you're the high ball hitter, you have to stop looking at these and go, oh no, I can't, because they're shallow. Because this shallow face was so much lower spin realistically than the deep face that you just kind of have to flip your mindset a bit.
And FYI, F9 is a phenomenal 3-wood.
Apparently. You guys do all of these?
It does well, but it's probably another one of those, like you just we probably don't utilize it enough.
I know.
It's
it's hard to keep. So the fun thing about here is, like, I think we just sometimes this worked out because of the face side, to be fair. But you revisit stuff here sometimes just because it's nice to have variety and show people that obviously there's more than just my ping head or something. But it's kind of a throwback in.
It really is.
It was awfully good.
Dive back into it. Okay, excellent. All right, guys. Hopefully this sort of stimulated some thoughts for you with regards to your own fairway woods and is helpful in the process towards getting the right one for you guys.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, stay tuned. We'll see you again soon.